So, you got the Tachi. Now when I first got mine, I would take I never undid the presentation knot in the, whatever Sageo is called on a Tachi. Forgot the proper terminology. I'm also getting over a wicked cold. So what I was doing was sticking carabiners in the ashi there and just kind of, excuse me, attaching it to an old Abercrombie and Fitch belt. And I mean, that got the job done, but it just didn't feel right. But there's precious little information on proper Tachi wearing, usage, cutting, anything. I mean, it's either in Japanese or, unfortunately, I learned how to fucking wear the Tachi properly from Anthony Ninja Scroll Translate Cummings. Like, he doesn't do any good for anybody. Like, all them Ninja Scroll reading folk died out in the 80s. Like, come on, man. But he was haranguing some poor frickin' Japanese man and his son as he was dressing his son up in the family armor. So let me show you what I was able to glean from that video. So what I do is I remove the Tachi from the, I know it's not a saya, but I don't know the word off the top of my head. I should have made a cheat sheet, but I didn't. And I put that on the sword/dish towel rack while I find the point of balance on the cutting stand. Let's see here. So, at first I was like, I'm not going to undo that. There's no way that like just tying that once is going to support all that weight. But wait, there's more. It never dawned on me you'd be able to wrap around your body a couple times. So, I've got my Dragon King Modern Tonto as a companion here. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. So now, logic would dictate you just keep wrapping it around, right? Wrong. I mean, you can, but that'll leave it slung a little lower if you want it high and tight. You want to frickin', you want to do it this way. So what you do, you find the, there, and instead of going straight around, you put it in through itself on both sides. And I like to brace it a little bit to be able to get it up and nice and tight as possible. So I'm using a Kefia and the Dragon King Modern as my companion. So I'm putting the things over the knot here. But what I like to do is tie a little knot in those ones too, just for added security and stability. And eventually you're going to fall off your stand and knock it off into oblivion, but shit happens, right? So what I will do is I will make my simple little freaking nothing more than a shoelace knot, like right there. Come on. There we go. And then usually I have to do a little bit of adjusting. Usually the companion, depends on where you got the Tachi located. Recommend like Adidas pants or athletic pants, like the shimmerier they are, the easier they are to freaking manipulate an obi or any kind of belt around. So you definitely want to be careful that that companion is not going to get in the way of any of your Tachi use. So make sure that that's slightly backing out of the way. We return the blade. Now, These are meant to be worn by dudes, usually on horses, who were carrying into battle with them a bow and arrow as their primary weapon. But when push came to shove, the tachi would come out. And a lot of the stances in with the katana, you can easily see where they came from the tachi, like, and the draw too. It's not like worn edge up like a katana, so I mean you can kind of flip it up and but they didn't have the katana back then, so that really wasn't in the mind. So you got to put yourself back then, and like so, they'd have the armor on with the plates and stuff. So you kind of have to, or you'd be on a horse even. Be cool if you had one like Mr. Ed to talk to you. There we go. Alright, so make sure it's comfortable, make sure it can be drawn one-handed. But this stance, look at how much of your body that blade covers with just the sori alone. Like freaking, and like this, like, I mean that's like poised to make a slashing cut, because this is the most difficult sword I've ever had to learn and adapt to, because the suka, whatever it is on Tachi, I mean, it makes you want to use it like a katana, but it's not capable of those quick, choppy cuts because of the deep sweeping curvature. This is a 33-inch Nagasa with 2.6 inches of sori. I mean, like, this thing is no katana and tachi clothing. So, yeah, man. Still yet to successfully get a draw cut with it, but one day, somehow, we'll get there. Trying to think what other useful information I was able to get from what little there was. But yeah, now you can hear it from me instead of Mr. Ninja. And this is like, I mean, you could actually, like, that is feasible, debatably. Like holding it up like a katana, and then you got freedom to go wherever you want. But that extra time and curvature really messes with you. Another thing that a katana guy will run into when they use the tachi is that the manauchi will hit a split fraction of a second before you're used, or later than you're used to, and that just throws you way off. That's why, although very, very similar, and a lot of katana ended up becoming being tachi that were cut down. Like, I mean, you could make a really bitchin' katana, you know, stay about right there. That'd be some nice koshi sori, like, hell yeah. Maybe I'll have Cloudhammer do that for me one of these days. By the way, this is the Cloudhammer Onimaru Kunitsuna replica tachi. It's a $1,500 custom blade, custom. I mean, like pretty much custom, because this is W2 steel. You don't see that every day, and they had to make quite a few of them to get one differentially hardened that didn't break. I mean, this sword took a very, very long time to finally be ready for my pleasure, but it's got a really, really nice polish on it, comparable to the Shadow Dancer Sashikomi. Different, but equally good. The only differences between this one and the normal one is the choice of Japanese silk Edo, nicer raised skin. I had them black in the fittings. They were like gold colored, but you know me, it's got to be the blackest black of all the blacks. So, well, I got you here. I may as well show off sharp she is. If I can find a paper that can do as such. There we go. You can do a couple for you. I mean, that's sharper than a brand new razor blade. I mean, like, I have no doubt that, like, if I were to go in full straight swing with the step and all of my weight and power into it, I have no doubt I could cut a man clavicle to hip with this sword, without a doubt. Now the drawing gets a little difficult, like, so usually, like, you'd have the armor on, you'd have to either squat down or you'd already be on your horse, but either way, it's, and then you really don't have many other options than that. Like I said, you could do the flip the saya up and maybe try and get like a little faster off. You're in a one-on-one duel and you've yet to draw your blade. So let's see if she can get something up the air. That's a thick one. That's a pushover. Give me a thin one. Thick. Thick. The grocery store has these freaking health magazines, right? And half the papers are really thick, and half the papers are really thin. But I don't know why I'm holding the paper right now. Do a few cuts for your viewing pleasure. Now you gotta remember the stance is a little different. It's a little wider, a little more just bending at your knees. Like, I don't know if that's right or not. It's just my educated. Yeah, that wasn't bad for having it flip in such a piss poor drop. Those kind of cuts, those folding paper ones like that, you gotta have a good drop to get it. Like if the drop isn't good like that, like I did, don't go for it. And like there's still a few schools in Japan where they have a horizontal nodo like so, and that comes directly from the Tachi because that is how it's supposed to be done, from what I have been able to understand from the Japanese videos. They don't have any English subtitles though. Guys, come on. Like this is going to be like one of the very few Tachi information in English. So sorry I'm such a stoner fuck. We'll go one-handed like a saber because you gotta remember oftentimes these were wielded from one hand on a horse. Not my most impressive work, but cut's a cut. Now, let's say we dispatch this shampoo. Let's see how easy it is to balance on a pool noodle stand first. Easy-ish. Not the easiest. waste everybody's time here, but no breaks in this one. So now or never, I gotta get this cut, or I'm just gonna look like an asshole in front of my sword friends. That's all there is to it. So don't let me down, Tachi. Yeah, I got sick a couple weeks ago. And as soon as I was getting better, I got hit with something else. It was like God just being like, "Yep, no fun for you, Eric." On top of like some like horrendous life shit that like is like life-alteringly horrible fucking shit. And God damn it, and I just gotta sit around with my thumb up my ass, fucking waiting. You ever get that I need some space shit? Like, and I've asked her to define space numerous times to no avail. But I'm gonna leave it at that before she gets pissed. Not that she watches my videos anymore, but this is kind of a little test for that anyway. We'll see. You remember that time? Just kidding. She did get alcohol poisoning when we were kids. Like, that's the thing. There's 27 years of history. She can't give up on that. No, no way, no how, dude. Too much time, too much love, too much everything. Motherfucker, man. Whoa. And then the safety samurai in action. Whoa. That was horrible. You know what? We're going to replace this sword. In fact, the more appropriate blade. We'll be using those dragon kings later. Where are you, Kris? Where are you? Oh man. I recently, like a couple weeks back, lost a really good buddy to fucking fentanyl xylazine overdose. Fucking terrible. He was like a good dude, like a little preppy jock, spoiled kid, but that wasn't like his fault. Like, and he was a really good dude, one of my few friends that I could have an actual intellectual conversation with. The one time he was over here, all doped up on whatever to grab a sack, and freaking picks up my Huey Unakubi Zakuri by the fucking saya, and I'm like, "No, dude, put it down right now." He's like, what? And then, wouldn't you know, pops out. He goes to catch it. Permanent fucking tendon damage, but so that doesn't really matter now. This little bastard shampoo bottle that can't balance that made my Dragon King fall out. Now this is a more appropriate companion sword for a Tachi of this stature. This is the very last Kris Cutlery Wakizashi number 4 folded edition that Kris Cutlery ever sold. They had them for ages. Then they moved the production from Philippines to China. They did a few more runs. This was the very last folded and laminated Wakizashi number 4 ever sold, because I bought it and they were immediately out of stock. When I got it, you could not see any of the activity in it. None of it whatsoever. Like, it looked like pure mono steel. And I saw this video with this dude acid etching Hanwei Tanto, so I gave it a whirl. And even in this poor lighting, you'll be able to see all the activity that I was able to bring out. You can see the hamon. If the light were better, you could actually see the lamination lines and stuff. I would refer you to one of my old videos, but yeah. There you go. You can see some of the lamination lines up there. There we go. And the folds. Like, I mean, you couldn't see anything. I'll give it some light for y'all. Gotta show them off my work. There we go. So you got the hamon, you got lamination lines, you got folding. There's 1045, 1095, and 92. Or no, it's 1060, 9250, and 1095. The cutting edge is 1095. Has a 9250 core, I believe, and 1060 folded with 9250 maybe. But like, look at all of them layers. That's got to be some complex like Hansanmai or something. I mean, there's just activity on top of activity. Trying to get a little bit better look. Come on. We get the dust off it. There it is. Oh yeah, look at all that. I mean, that is a lot of activity for Kasaki, Boshi, and a Wakizashi. And you couldn't see any of it. And like the geometric, Joe, the Yakote is like half geometric. Like it's not like very well defined, like, but you can definitely feel a change in plane when you run your finger over it. Anyhow, let's cut the shampoo out. Let's talk more cutty. Hold on, my battery's low. I gotta plug this fucking thing in like a fucking jack off. I don't know why a jack off wouldn't have his phone charged, but I guess that's the word I used. Well, let's drop my cigarette and burn the house down while we're at it too. I've been up for quite a while and freaking just harvested 4 of my 6 plants. And let me tell you, they're fucking fantastic. The Durban Poison and Sleepy Joe had this delicious fucking fruity, weedy, tasty smell that like I wish I could just put through the fucking camera right to your guys' nose. Shit, I wish I could fucking just pass the joint to you through the video. But anyhow, let's see what this shampoo has. Ain't got shit on the Tachi. And then there you have it. That's how to draw, cut with, freaking wear, and use the Tachi. So you don't have to worry about bothering Mr. Anthony while he's busy translating his ninja scrolls. That's about all I got for now. Trying to think if there's anything else of note. Oh yeah, this here Buck 744 Sovereign, even though it's Chinese made, it's a Buck still. It's centered nicely. Came with a laser sharp factory edge that I'm still working on nulling out before I put my own on. I really dig the hollow grind, the modified clip point. I love the button lock. I put a few drops of mineral oil on the pivot there, and now it seems to have that drop shut action that was all the rage a few years back. The only thing I would change is I wish it had a deep carry pocket clip, but other than that, let me bitch about the Ken Onion Kershaw leak. And this is one of my favorite knives. This is in composite. There's another one I'll have to show you, I guess. And it's got D2 on the bottom, a very, very thin layer of copper, and then Sandvik 14C28N up top. So it's a really, really cool blade, especially if you're a katana guy or an appreciator of activity in blades and steel. No, I love this knife. I've had an old one for a while. I thought I lost it. Then my then girl and future girl freaking bought me this one. Freaking love this knife. However, I wish it had a deep carry pocket clip, and from the factory it comes with tip down. So you're stuck with a tip down knife, which I just can't deal with. So when you flip the pocket clip over, because it does allow you to find that fucking Torx bit and then reattach it up there after losing a screw and having to take one from your other Kershaw leak. But then that leaves the problem of gravity and this here safety lock there. Like when I reach into my pocket to grab my knife and it doesn't open when I hit the flipper, that's not safe. That's fucking dangerous. And that is because the safety lock, if used in the original factory tip up or tip down carry position, isn't a problem. But after a while, sometimes just walking around, gravity will do its job and it will deploy that safety. And then an arduous fucking necessary right now cutting task will arise. You'll pull out your trusty Kershaw leak and what the fuck? Oh yeah, that stupid fucking lock. And oh no, not on that side. Where the fuck is it? And then by the time fucking you found the lock and shit, somebody's got it with their shit ass box cutter that they shouldn't even be using. So I'd like to see an updated, better version of one of these Kershaw and Ken Onion. Because I'm a huge fan of the American-made Kershaws. I own the Lucha, the Dividend, Launch 8, and any Kershaw that's made in America, I would endorse. I would not endorse any of the ones made in China. But the USA-made ones, all day long. And since I've already taken up such a large portion of your time, why not take a look at this badass $1,500 Tachi from Cloudhammer Steelworks. Took about 3 years for them to, a little over 3 years to be produced for me. And this is should be on me. Nope, this is going to be the presentation side. So, we've got decent sized nodes on the ray skin. Japanese silk Ito. You can tell it is real Japanese silk by the crystallization of your sweat crystals will gather on it. You see the slight discoloration on the Ito. But, I mean, fit and finish is flawless. Tsukamaki, rock solid. Everything is on as it should be. No real gaps to worry about. But then, look at this beautiful, beautiful blade. I'm trying to get it zoomed in a little more for y'all. Let's maybe zoom in a little too far for y'all. Remember that #1 Stunna song from like 20 years ago? I got that shit stuck in my head. But I mean, look at that. That is a beautiful... Yeah, holy fuck. That is a beautiful polish. I believe it's a 3-color polish, but I could be wrong. It could be even a grade above that. I have to ask John of RVA Katana. It's W2 steel. And it's the only blade I have in W2. Has a geometric Ikote I don't know if that would be considered an Wakizashi on a Tachi, but it would be on a katana. It's just a beautiful, beautiful katana or sword to own. Now, being 33 inches long, you would think it would be very unbalanced, but due to the story, it's a pleasure to wield. So, if you got $1,500 and a couple years you don't mind waiting, hit up John at RVA. You can use my discount code SMOKINGBUSHI10 to get 10% off. You can get that on anything there. It doesn't have to be one of these, but yeah. So, that's about all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. And buy some fucking cloud hammers.